Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a little while, been about a week since I put out a video, and I just wanted to say that I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people visiting from out of town, and I just took a little break. I did reach my 5,000 subscribers. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all of you. I can't tell you how much. It even surprises me that I hit 5,000, but I did a few days ago, and I froze the comments that day. Was it Saturday? I think it was this past Saturday. And so I will be picking a winner this Friday. We're going to do it on Fun Friday. And so we're going to do it on Friday. And the prize, I've already done a flip through, is this full-size journal. And I will go over, the whole process and how you win on my channel, because I usually give out a big prize every time I get another 1,000 subscribers, but I also give out little prizes. But I'll explain all of that, and I will announce the winner on Fun Friday. I thought that would be a good day to do it, but I did want to acknowledge that we've hit that mark. Keep commenting. Of course, it'll start entering you for the next giveaway, which will be when we hit 6,000. So, basically, you have to be a public subscriber and comment on any of my videos, 1 comment per video, and each comment enters you into the giveaway. So if you watch all 300 of my videos and comment 300 times, and you're going to get 300 entries. It can be an old video, new video, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'll go over all that again, but I just wanted to say thank you, and I really appreciate it. What we're going to be doing today, though, is a little bit different. We're going to be doing our Mask Make Monday, and I am going to be decorating some envelopes. I love having these to put in a journal. I just think they always look so special. I don't know, they just give a lot of character to a journal, and I like having them on hand, already made. I will say this is something that, even though I never really used to make a lot of things ahead, I used to do that because it takes a lot of different things to do this. And, getting them all out while you're in the middle of doing a journal or whatever might be a lot. So I do try and do this stuff kind of all together, and do a few kind of just generic. And today I'm doing ones that are kind of springtime or flowery and that type of thing. That's kind of the theme. And we're going to be using different things. We're going to be using napkins, different ones that I have. I'm going to be using some of my distressed oxides, different colors. Just to kind of maybe add some color sometimes. Of course, I'll be using Distress ink and my inkers. I do have archival ink out, Black Soot and Vintage Photo. I'll be using those. I have stencils, and I have different stamps. I will be using different stencils and stamps. Let's see here. Definitely I'm using this gel medium. I really like this stuff. It works really well, and it's less expensive than others. But I love gel medium. You can use white glue if you want to. I'll be using some texture paste. I'm almost done with this jar, so I kind of want to use it. You can use any texture paste. This is just white gesso that I've watered down quite a bit. So I will be using that. This is a spray solution that I've made that I when I don't coffee dye my stuff, this is kind of what I use. And we'll use that actually probably pretty quick. Just a nail file, a water pen just to kind of use for my napkins. Just some little plastic things for the stencils. And just a little sponge brush that I'm going to use for the gesso. So anyway, what I did is I just took, I found when I was going through all of my stash, I have a lot of envelopes. I mean, just a lot. And so I didn't have them coffee dyed, but I went ahead and decided to just use, I have a lot of different brown solutions that I use. And all I did is I took just this is basically alcohol ink mixed with alcohol, and I just make a little solution, and the reason I like it with alcohol rather than water, it's already alcohol ink and it makes it permanent, but at the same time this stuff dries a lot quicker than if you were to just do you know, water, because the water takes longer to dry. It doesn't saturate your whatever you're doing. So anyway, then I just set them aside. I just do a bunch of them at a time, and then I will do that. Or, you know, coffee dye them. Just go ahead and coffee dye them, and then you'll have a bunch ready. I didn't really have very many, and I could have went down and coffee dyed them, but I thought, now I'm just going to do this. Nice and easy. I don't, you know, I don't always coffee dye my stuff. Sometimes I just do that. Anyway, so then the other thing that you have to do is if you have your napkins, this is one of the ones I got from Temu that it has the little bumps on it. So I'm going to be anxious to see if it works. But your napkins are going to have multiple layers. So you just take some Scotch tape. Some have 2 layers, some have 3 layers. You're just going to take this and then separate the layers, and that's all you're doing. And then after you get that layer off, these just have 2 layers. Some of them will have 3 layers, and if they have 3 layers, then you just do the same thing again. And if you don't know for sure, the easiest way to figure it out is to just take another piece of tape and go like this, and if it's not pulling up another layer, then you just have 2 layers, okay? But if there's 3 layers, it'll start to pull up another layer. So that is what you use your tape for. So the first thing, let me get all this out so we have everything ready to go. I am just using these little brushes. I have them, so I might as well use them. And I'll just put those aside. We'll use a nail file later. Get all my little tools out over here. And I do want to use my little container here for water because I want to go ahead and make sure that I put my stencils up. I made my stuff over here. So I hope everybody's doing well. I had, you know, just a ton of company over, so I really had to kind of concentrate on that, getting my house ready for all my company and then entertaining. And I really thought I could sneak up and do a couple videos, but I really did not have the time. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get back on here and try and get on some sort of a schedule, but we'll see what happens because you know how that goes, right? The first thing I'm going to do is, oh yeah, I was going to put water in here, so we have that. Let's do that. I always make sure I have like a little thing of water here so that I can always put my stencils in, because you want to put your stencils in there as soon as you can. And some of your tools and things when you're using, especially texture paste. and some gesso too. So what I'm going to do with this is I am going to stamp on it first, and then this is just sprayed with my spray. Let's see here. And coffee dyed works just as well. I'm trying to remember where I put all the different stamps. I think I'm going to separate these out so I know where they are. And I do have a lot of different stamps here, and depending upon what I'm doing, I'm going to use different ones. I kind of want to keep the stamps separate from the stencils. All right, I'll just keep the stencils here. All right, I think I'm going to use this one. And these are just for background. I'm using, and I'll be doing some different things on different ones. So I am going to be using my Vintage Photo, and it's archival ink, to do this, because I want an archival ink so that it will not smear when I put my gel medium on or anything else that I do, because we're going to, and I'm not trying to get it all over or perfect. I'm just trying to get some print in different places, because we will wind up with, you know, stuff not everywhere. So let me put some down here. And I'm using the brown just because I think I want it to be kind of light. And I'll be using the black later, but I want to use this on here. I think I'm going to do that like that. I don't want it to go exactly straight. There we go. Yeah, that's a little better. There we go. And then I want to do this, so there we go. Okay, so that's probably good enough. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe a little bit right here. Okay, so I have that on there as a background. I left this here because we're going to eventually put a stamp. Oh, I had some black on my finger. That didn't help. Let me get my wipe. You won't see it later, so it won't really matter. All right, so I'm going to take from that, I'm going to take a napkin. I've already separated some, like I showed you, so that you wouldn't have to watch me do that on all of these. And so here's one that has some really pretty things on it, and I'm not going to you know, separate the whole thing. I'm going to take some pieces, and I may not even use all the pieces that I do. But this is just a water pen. You can use a paintbrush with water. I like using this. I think it works really well. And I just go around it, and then I push it out. And if there's a part I didn't get good, then I just go back. And I don't worry about it being perfect, because I actually don't want it perfect, but I just kind of, and you can always like clean it up after you take it out. So I'm kind of paying attention to the different images. I like this. So I'm going to take that, and I may not use the entire image that I take out. I may make it smaller later, but usually that's how I do it. So that will work there. I love this right here. So I think I'm going to go here and just see how that is. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and just take different spots out, and I will probably end up using not very much of each piece, but this is how I and I always keep all my pieces aside that I do, because then I might use it. I mix them on different napkins. On different, I mix different napkin images is what I was trying to say. Okay, and then I like this right here. All right. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my napkin, and I'm just going to take some things and kind of decide where I want them. Like, I don't like all this green over here, so I'm probably going to go like that and get that out. And it's too tall, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll have to probably cut off part of the top or the bottom. Let's see what I want to do. Looks like I have to take the top off, so I'll go right here. Hopefully that'll be enough. We shall see. Oh yeah, okay, that works good. So if I put that there, that will be an image that goes, you know, all the way across there. And then let's see, maybe I want to put some more over here, or maybe something lower like that. That would be pretty. Yeah, I like that. Okay, why don't we try that? And that's going to go there. And on the other side, I have to decide what I'm going to do here. And I really love this. I would love for it to go all the way up. So what I could do is I could put that right there, and then I can put that on top. So I will go ahead and cut that when I do it. And then maybe I'll put this over here. Let's see. I don't know. And that's what I do, is I just kind of play with it and just see what I want to put. Oh, I didn't put this anywhere. That's kind of upsetting because I really like that. But I did. Okay, I really like this. I don't know. Where am I going to put it? I really have to put it somewhere, don't I? I could put it up here and then take that bottom part off. Let's see. And I try not to, you know, spend too much time, especially if you're making a lot of them. And I don't know, a lot might be like, you know, 5 or something for me, because it will take me a little bit of time. Okay, so I'm going to have to go a little bit more on the bottom to take that off. And of course you can mess with this as you're putting it down, but I like to kind of get to the point where I have it almost ready to go. That way, and I'm just pulling, and I like the edges to be kind of rough like that. Because I think it ends up looking better. So, okay, so I've got to take some off on each side. And then some off on this side. And I just pull it. And again, if it's not perfect, that's okay. We want not perfect. That's kind of the goal. You know what? Let's see here. Maybe I can put that there. Or I could put this over. No, it's not going to fit. It would have to go over here. Oh, and then I could put that up here. It doesn't fit very good up here is the problem. I might have to tilt it a little. Yeah, that works better. And then what am I going to put over here? I don't know. I don't like how that looks, so I don't know. That was going to go on front, but it may have to go there. Or I could just put this right here. You don't want straight edges on the top part. So we could put that there. And then I have this too. So let's see, I had that in front. Or I could put that there. I kind of like that better, but I'm going to have to make it smaller. So we may have to go like that. Let's see how that works. Oh yeah, that's way better. Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. So these are going to go on the back. And then those are going to go on the front. All right. So then, after I've done that, I am going to take my gel medium and I just take that top off, and I'm going to take my medium-sized brush and I'm just going to go ahead and put some down, not too much, right here. I know it's going to go here. Does not bother me if I put it all over, or too, you know, because all I'm doing is sealing this, and that's fine. So I'm going to put that right there. Go ahead and I'm lining up the bottom. It doesn't matter if the bottom's straight, but the other parts I don't want to be straight. So the fact that that's hanging off a little is not going to matter. And it doesn't really matter if it's on absolutely straight or if there's wrinkles. I actually like wrinkles. You know, not too excessive, but not too many. So then I just kind of go over it with the brush, and the brush smooths it out. I like a wide brush, so these brushes work really well, but you can certainly use any kind. I have other wide brushes I bought that I used to use all the time until I got these, but they're really good. They're easy to handle. So these are the Distress Tim Holtz ones, but you can certainly use whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this, because see how it has a little edge there. So I want it straight on the bottom, so it doesn't matter to me if I'm cutting it, because it will. And we're going to be filing that off after, so. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that like right here. So this is going to overlap a little right here, so it looks like it's all one piece on the bottom. And I love how that looks. Yeah, that turned out good. All right. All right, so I love how the front looks. And in order to do the back, we do have to kind of dry it a little bit. Let me wipe this off real quick. Put that back on. All right, so I'm going to put my brush in a wipe, so it just sits there for a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off a little. I don't want everything sticking to it. And then I'm just going to dry this enough to where I can turn it over. Okay, so I've dried that pretty good. So now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And then that way we can kind of go on to the next step. And I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. I usually put my bigger pieces on first. I don't know why, I just do. I don't think it really matters, but that's just kind of how I do it. And I'm going to put these square pieces, these straight pieces toward the edge. And again, I don't care if it overlaps a little over here, because we're going to get that off later. And then I'm just going to go over the top of it, and this smooths it out perfectly. A few little wrinkles are not a big deal. So we're going to do that. All right, so that's done on that one. And then we're going to put this over here. Let me see, we might need to Move it over a little bit more. Yeah, I like it right there. So again, I just kind of put it all over. And then I will put that there. There we go. So that is that one. And the way that I do these when I mass make them is I kind of do one part all at one time, like the stamping, all of them, and then I come back and I do the next part. So it goes a lot faster that way. So you might consider that. I'm doing it this way just to show you how I do them, collect the whole thing. But so like when we did all the stamping, you could stamp a bunch, you know, maybe 5 or 6 of them, and then go back and then, you know, add the napkin part. I might have to cut off that blue. It just really doesn't seem like it wants to work, this blue flower. So we'll take it off. We've got blue in the egg, so I think we'll be okay. And I will just put that up here. Yeah, that seems to work a lot better there. And then I'm going to do it like this so we can get that on there. All right. Get it like this. See if I can get it to fit reasonably well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go over it. Okay. So I would normally just go and, you know, stamp it, do a bunch of napkins. I've separated all my napkins at one time, and I'll have those off to the side. If I'm doing the same one, then you know that I would go ahead and do that. But I'm doing each part separately on this first one just to show you the whole process. And then, since we already dried that, now we're going to dry this part. So let's put that top on as we're drying. Wipe up some of this mess. All right, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and dry this. All right, so I have done this, and it's you have to do this to where it's very dry, because if you don't, this next part can really mess it up. So you want to make sure that it's very dry. And now what we're going to do is see on the edges here. First, we're going to just kind of take a nail file. This is just from the dollar store. I like using a nail file because I can kind of push it with my finger. And I'm going to smooth it out. And if it takes some of it off, that's fine, because we're looking for a distressed look. But it will also take those edges off, you know, that, and I just rip those if they're you know, not coming off, because I like it to be distressed looking. And I do that, and it will take the edges off, get them all nice and even. Okay, do that. And the reason you need it all the way dry is if you do not have it all the way dry, it will tear your napkin probably more than you want it to. You do that. And you can see as you go, usually, if you have any little stragglers, okay? And let's see here. And so that's torn a little bit, but that's fine, because we can fix that, and I don't really even care. It's not going to really matter, but, and that's only because you're really handling this paper quite a bit. So now I will say that the gel medium does really strengthen your envelope too, though. So it kind of gives it a really kind of almost like a material feeling or something, or a little bit stronger. And then I just go over this, just kind of a little bit harder so it gets off all the loose pieces. And it actually makes it look like it's just part of the paper and not so much, you know, just glued on. And it does that. And as I said, when I do this in mass, I do each part of it separate. So, and I will show you that in a minute. Okay, so now that we've done that, this part of it, it just really depends on if you, like, I think this looks great the way it is, but, you know, you can add more steps to it. And this is watered down gesso. It's not very thick at all. It's just pretty much a kind of a very, I wouldn't say super watered down, but it's pretty watered down. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit, and I like to do just a little bit of gesso over this, just to make it look a little distressed. Now, some of you are probably going, no, but then I'll take a wipe and just kind of push it back a little bit. And this stuff, when it dries, you'll be able to see the image better. You'll see it'll be a little bit more. And I do that because I want it to look a little bit more vintage. And the gesso will do that and blend it a little bit. So I do that. And if I, you know, I just do kind of, it's just to kind of knock it down just a tiny bit. And I don't want a lot on there. I just want a little. And to make it blend in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to put a little bit of the stenciling on there. And I will put that, I'm just going to put a little bit in a couple spots just to give it some interest. Maybe I'll use this one. I think this one might look good. I'm not doing it all over. I'm just doing it in a few little spots here and there. Okay. And that's just to give it a little extra texture. Let me see, go right here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then let's see, up here probably. And this is the stencil that I got off of Temu for, actually it had a lot of stencils in the pack, and I only really liked like 3 of them, but I kind of was playing with some other ones, and I actually am starting to like them better. But it was super cheap for all of them, so even if I only end up liking a few. Okay, I love that. I think that turned out really good. Now, of course, to do the back, you're going to have to dry this or you'll smush it off. So the texture paste, normally I let dry naturally. I think it dries better if you do that because it gets a little puffy otherwise, but I just want to make sure that you see the whole process. And then on the back, I'll put some somewhere. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to put as much on here. But the texture paste, to me, it just adds a little bit more character. Although I'm not going to put a ton on this side, I don't think. And a little bit over here. Maybe just over here a little. There we go. And I think a little bit over here, so I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Like right here. There we go. So anyway, you know, of course, everything is optional, the extra stuff that you do. But put that in the water and then dry that, and we'll get on to the next part, okay? So definitely make sure it's dry all the way, because it will kind of make, you know, a mess. So it's okay though, because we're going for a distressed look, so anything goes pretty much. So, and then we'll do that, and you're just going to barely go over it, because you just want to hit the highlights of it. And what you're doing is you're going to make all that white gesso is going to pick up some of this, and you just want to barely hit it. You don't want to rub it too much, and that just adds a little bit of a distressed look to it, and it kind of hits the top of it a little bit. Okay, and then usually I go around the sides and distress it a little bit, and then you decide how distressed you want it to look. I mean, I don't know. I don't really. You can take that. If you want it more, you can go over it with this. You could also take like gilding, and we'll do that on another one if you want it like that, because you can, but it does pick up the you know, the texture paste a little bit, so that gives you a little bit of that look. And then you've got, you know, and depending upon what you stencil on there, but I just like a little bit, let's see, that needs to rub off a little bit. You work with that. Of course, I'm going fast to show you, but you take your time. And you know, the amount of distressing, you may like it just with the napkin, how we did it. You may not like the gesso. I like it because it kind of pushes things to the background a little bit and doesn't make it as bright. You may not like that, you know, so you have to kind of decide on your own what your distress tolerance is. Okay, so then after you do all that, I like to use real stamps in the corner, and I kind of basically pick my stamp based on colors. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see what we have here. This could work. I really, I have very, very vintage. I have not so vintage. I have all kinds, so I really do pick my stamps usually by color. Could do that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do that. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because it will definitely, let's see. I usually put 1 or 2 stamps. Sometimes I put different colors, sometimes the same. Let's see, I kind of like this one better. Yeah, so we'll do those two. I usually, if they're not, now these are really old stamps, but you know, I just ink them up a little, make them look a little vintage, even though they are vintage already. But okay, and then I'm going to put these in the corner, and I just glue them on. Some of these stamps are used, some are not, so if you don't have real stamps, there's plenty of what do you call it, digitals out there that have stamps on it. You can use those. I have a faux stamps, you know, stamp set too, So I'm going to put that kind of right there. Okay, so I put both of those on there. That's why I didn't put any flowers or anything over there. And then I'm going to take, where did it go? I have a stamp set that I can use. That one. I have a lot of others too, but I like this one. I like the part of it actually. So I take usually this little stamp here. It's this one. And then this one. And I don't know where I got these. I think I got it probably off of Amazon a long time ago. And I'm just going to take my black archival ink. And I'm not going to do this perfectly, but I will kind of go like that to give it more of that. And then I will pick this little Ripley thing. I don't know what it's, you know, like they stamp it when your stamp goes through, and put that on. And I usually do that. Then, let's see. This is the part where I do it sometimes. I don't do it all the time. I'm not sure. I have to look and see. I will go ahead and look through here and see if I want to stencil anything on here. Because occasionally I add a little stenciling on here. Now this one looks really kind of busy, so I may not do that. But I would like, you know, stencil a little color on there if I think it needed, like if might need a little bit right up here. I don't know. Not 100% positive, so let's try. We actually have a lot of pink in there, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Could put a little purple maybe. So let's see if I can get my purple one out of here. And let's see how that goes. And so maybe I just want to put a little bit of stenciling in the blank spots. And that's usually all I do, is I put a little bit in here and there. It fills in any spots that you may have. Like I could put a little bit more. This is so full in here that I don't have a lot of room to do this. So I'm just going to put a couple of these just for continuity over here. You know, just to give you a little bit going all the way across. And then maybe we put some right in through here. A little bit more on the bottom. Like I said, I only usually do it in maybe spots I want to fill in. And I just kind of loosely do it. And then here we've got a couple of spots maybe. And that just gives it a little bit more character. And you kind of just decide what you think it needs. So that just kind of adds, you know, to the overall look of it. I think we could do a little bit better right here. I don't like that half one that we did. See if I can match that. Let's see if I can get that on there good. I don't like that half thing right there. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, there we go. I like that better. I like how it fades better there. Okay, so anyway, the last thing I usually do then is I take my already made, usually, I think I want to do I want to do purple? No. maybe blue. Maybe this blue. That blue might look good. And I usually just do it based on color because I'm not really... Oh, that looks kind of good. Let's see what other ones I have in here. Obviously, I need to get more colors in here, I think. Yeah, it looks okay. So what I do then is I will put something here. It could be lace or something too. And but on these, I'm putting my wax seals that I did, and I'm only going to put glue down at the bottom. And I like using my 3-in-1 or my Beacon glue because it sticks better on the wax seal. And so there's only glue on the bottom right here. So that makes it tuck in really well, and it just holds it down. I'll hold it there for a second or so. And that will hold it in. All right. So then we have a little tuck thing there. So that works really well. Make sure there's no glue on the bottom. So that is how that goes. Let me get that down further. Hold on. Is that going to go in there? I hope there's no glue there. I don't think so. Anyway, so that is pretty much all I do, and then that is how I make my envelope and or envelope, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to show you. Let's see what our time is. I am going to show you very quickly how I would do these in mass, okay, and just give you an idea, because that way you're not. It doesn't take as long. So I would take a few, and they don't even have to be the same kind. It can be different kinds, you know, it doesn't have to be the same. But you can just take several. And you're just going to go and find your background stamps. It doesn't have to be the same one. It could just be you're going to do all your background stamps. And you don't have to do them in the brown. I just do it because I like it to be in a background. It could be you decide to do it in black. It could be you decide to do it in gray. I like to do, a lot of times I do stuff in gray. Let's see. I'm going to do a couple of these in just this music notes that I have. And I will do multiple ones like this, and I'm not trying to get it all over perfect. I'm just trying to get it to where it is a background. And I can do that. And you don't have to do just one stamp. You can mix them up. Okay. Do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Okay, so that would be this stamp. Maybe I'll put more right there. All right, and then I'll just set that aside, and I'll do multiple ones all at one time. Like I may do, you know, 3 or 4 of these, and that way then I'm done with that stamp, and then I go and I get another one and I work on the next one, and I just do like all the stamping at one time. Okay, so then I am not stopping and getting one product out and then another product, and I will go ahead and do all that. And you also too, when you do it that way, you kind of get in a rhythm. So you will do that. I mean, like even if I wanted to do a different stamp, I could still, I'm still going to be doing all of my stamping at one time. I'm not going to be doing it at different times. So and that's how I would do it. I just kind of, make sure I do one process at a time. And then that helps me out because I'm not picking up different things and putting my brush away and then going to get another thing, and you know. So anyway, that's kind of how I do it if you're going to be making multiple things. Okay, so that's the idea. You get the idea, right? So then the next thing that I would do in process is I would just pick out my napkins and then decide what I'm going to put there. And I may put, you know, different things, and I'll cut them out. I don't, you know, a lot of times I don't do, even when I'm mass making, I don't do the same thing, exact same thing over and over again. I do different things. So, all right, let's see how I want to do this. Maybe I go this way. I'm not sure. I like that blue little bird there. So I'm gonna, but I like that flower better. If I put him there, it will cover the thing, unless I go down. No, gotta go this way. Let's see how it looks over here. I'll be way down there. Nope, it doesn't look. I gotta go. And I'll, you know, yeah, that's not gonna work at all. It's got to go over here. Almost have to go with this one, so let's just do that. And let's see, the top is right here. So I'm gonna go and get that. And so I will go through and I'll pick out all of my napkin parts and I'll put it inside this inside of each envelope. Okay, so if I'm doing 6 envelopes, then I'll have all my pieces in here. Okay, and then when it comes time to glue it, then I will have them. All right, so let's see. What am I going to put over there? I kind of like this. I don't know if it'll fit though. My hand's starting to cramp up, guys. So, let's see. I really love this over here, but I don't want to cut off the bird. Ooh, I put that one. I really have to have that somewhere over here, though. So I'm going to do this without the bird. Let's see how that turns out. And anyway, so what I'm going to do, basically, is I am going to just take my pieces, put them in here, and let's see, we've got a butterfly over here. I like these butterflies. Get those out. Put those somewhere. I don't know where, but we're going to put them somewhere. And let's see. I wonder if I can fit that in there because I absolutely love that blue bird. Yes, I can. Okay, so he's going to go. Here's the top. So that is going to go right here. And that will go right there. And the butterflies will go off to the side. See, I didn't put enough right here, so I gotta go back in. And that'll work. So basically, that's all I do on all of these, and then I'll put them in here, okay? And I'll do that on all the envelopes that I stamped, okay? So then the next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll do the glue process like you saw me do. And I'll just do all of them, and then I'll do my stenciling, etc., etc., etc. And that is how I do the whole thing is I do each part in multiple, and that's how I do it. So anyway, that is my process for mass making my envelopes, and I hope that helps you, because these are so fun to have and put in a journal. They're very personalized. I think they look really cool because they're, I don't know, they're just, there's a lot to them. But if you do it in the process like I showed you, it's really not that hard. It's pretty easy. So I hope that this helps you, and I hope you enjoyed this for today. I am going to try and do a Tim Holtz Tuesday tomorrow, but we'll see. I don't know what time. I may have to postpone it till next week. But I am going to try and get 3 videos out this week, so I will see you soon. And don't forget, on Friday, that's when I'll announce the winner of my 5,000 subscriber giveaway. So you guys take care, and then I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.